Alright, welcome everyone. In this video, we'll go through price action for Nasdaq and US30. So starting with Nasdaq on daily time frame, we have that. Sorry, excuse me. Let me finish this. Okay, so we've gotten ourselves into a 4-hour demand zone, and this is a very impulsive candle, and it's still early in the day. This was yesterday's candle. So what happened was the previous candle prior to yesterday swept the previous candle's high and then close bearish, only for yesterday's candle to also sweep the previous candle's high and then close bearish. So that was really indicative that price would want to continue selling to the downside, which it has done here now. This is looking like this could hold because this is the Asian session, so we could actually see London session opening and then reversing price. We don't know, anything can happen, but for now I think this is still a candle range high, this is still a candle range low. So anything happening inside here, we'll have to wait for price to break out here or here before we know what price wants to do. But for now, we've gotten into that 4-hour supply demand zone that I drew marked out, and we could see it reverse from there, maybe when London session begins. This is still looking like, although it's swept liquidity, it's still looking like a liquidity on its own. Coupled with the fact that there is nothing here opposing price, we could see it even get down to here, this level, and then push up, because this is a daily demand zone. So if it gets here, we could see it pushing to the upside. So if you move down to the 4-hour time frame, this is where the zone becomes more visible. So you see its consolidation before an aggressive candle away. Now, this was what happened throughout the whole of yesterday. We had a bullish opening followed by 2 more bullish candles. After that, we didn't really sweep liquidity here. We actually broke with a candle close. Then this was where the liquidity sweep happened, followed by a bearish engulfing. So this is indicative of price actually wanting to push to the downside, and mark this zone, price got into it and we started selling from there. So this was the first aggressive move before the second one. So we could see this zone as a possible place for price to come into before it sells, but the fact we are inside a 4-hour zone already, might not see this zone hold. It might just break through it from a XAUUSD, and then we'll look for an entry to target this level. So that is my ideal scenario, XAUUSD here, and then forming a new zone for us to take it to the upside. That's what I would prefer. But if it doesn't happen and we break this low here, then we might actually see this level actually holding. The only reason I would want to trade from this level is when this level here gets broken. That is the only reason we want to sell from the supply zone at 29,985 is when this level at 29,666 actually breaks. The range high and low are still intact. Okay, I think I will prefer moving this now to this level. So yeah, this is the break, the low, and the range high. So we are currently bullish. If you move down to the 1-hour time frame, this is where we have a change of character here, and then like I said, this zone is where price is reacting from. If this zone holds, then I would not want to be selling from here as price is coming up. The only reason I want to sell from here is if this whole level gets broken, then a retracement here will be welcome for a further sale. Yeah, I think that is it. Let's check out the 15 minutes. 15 minutes, does it really have anything to talk about? Not really. Okay, this was a consolidation away. Then we also broke here, and we had this failure swing. Price came back into this level and dumped. So after that dump, we had this consolidation before it broke away. So yeah, nothing really serious again to talk about there. On Nasdaq, okay, we've had ourselves a break. So let's arrange this well. I think we can now clear out this 15 minutes range. So we can clear this out and then move this here as the new 15-minute range high. So the range low has not yet been formed because price has to come a little bit into here before we mark this out. So yeah, we are now on a bearish trend on the 15 minutes time frame. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notification button, and join the Telegram community. The links will be in the description. Also follow me on X. So on US30, this was what happened for the day. So this previous day's candle closed bearish. We closed below this range low here, and now we could continue seeing price move down until we get into this 4-hour zone. So that was what happened. I think the zone is at 53,365.5. So yeah, the only thing we talk about here is the fact that it broke here and we now have a new candle range. If you check out the 4-hour time frame, this was what happened. We don't have a clear standalone 4-hour time frame range, but we did break here for his failure swing, and now this is the current leg. For today's action, nothing really happened here. There was no bullish retracement. We just kept on dumping, starting with this bullish engulfing. Okay, we came into here a little bit and then started dumping from there. Formed about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bearish candles. That's 20 hours of downward selling momentum. So we finally got here, and this candle closed as an inside candle. This is the new candle that has been printed, and we'll see what happens from there. There's a possibility we get a bearish engulfing formation that will finally push price into this demand zone. So checking out the 1-hour time frame, this was the 1-hour time frame. We broke this low here, price came here, formed the bearish engulfing, price tapped into it and started dumping from there. So this now is another zone that price could get into and dump. I think it has already tapped it, so we haven't yet formed a bearish engulfing. Rather, we formed this bullish. It didn't hold because, as you all know, it was opposing the overall trend. So what we need now, we also had this bearish engulfing candle, so price tapped into it, and now we should be selling. This is the main draw, and then before we get into the zone. So on the 15 minutes, I don't really know if anything would have. Okay, so we broke here. This zone didn't hold. Rather, price just used it as a sweep of liquidity before pushing to the downside. But it didn't really give us anything else to work with. We tapped here and dumped. After coming down, we had another test of this zone, and price dumped, and again this was another order block price got into, and now it's pushing to the downside. So like I said, if you want to continue selling, this could be a place to enter from, but I would prefer here getting broken first, then we start retracing here before we continue the sales. So that is my outlook for the rest of the pairs. I do think there's a possibility we do that. It's not really strange to expect that for today we break into this zone, maybe heading into London, we are around here, and then we start looking for how to tap into here. Maybe as New York session, we tap into it and we start selling. Everything is time and price. That's what I'm using to mark things out. It will also be like a standard AMD formation where we have accumulated, then London sees us manipulating these lows and then pushing it back to the upside, and then distribution in New York session. So yeah, that's it for these pairs. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you again later. Goodbye.